Mama's in the living room watching Judge Judy. I'm in the kitchen eating leftover sushi. And she yells, oh, girl, you gotta hear this one. A man was arrested for running the theme park. And when they said, where's your license? He said, my dog ate it. Oh, you can't make this shit up. Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on her Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout, girl, you gotta hear this one. Mama loves to laugh at how absurd life is, says it's all a comedy and I'm her audience. And I love the way she makes fun of the world. She said, you'll never guess who with their girlfriend. It was a man who didn't get us out of the bed. He said, I've been through hell and now I need some help. You just can't make this shit up. You just can't make this shit up. Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout, girl, you gotta hear this one.
Hey everybody, it's Squid. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Tuesday. I am starting early today. I don't know why. My daughter just tried to give me a heart attack. I was about to hit the live button at 1:15 and the doorbell rings. Who's knocking on, or who's ringing my doorbell? It's the FedEx guy. However, my front door is wide the hell open. I check my security cameras. After this whole interaction, my child decided to go out and hang out and try to go home with the FedEx guy. What? She managed to, she knows how to open the door and do the lock, but she doesn't know how to undo the deadbolt. Apparently, she either learned how to unlock the deadbolt or she's been working at it over the past 3 hours when I've been doing stuff around the house and managed to get it undone. Good thing we have nice people around here, because that could have gone very, very badly. And your girl might need bail money instead of a live stream today. Well, we are getting started early because I do want to get through this kind of quickly. This is what I'm calling Federal 3. And because it's Tuesday, coming to hang out with me today is Spawntrooper. Yeah, feeling that bad?
Freaking. I was doing I was editing a video, and I got to the end, and I thought, okay, yeah, like render it, get everything through, wait till the end, press play, and I freaking edited and rendered the wrong one, and all I had was the beginning of my intro and the exit of my intro and outro. So no, bad, no, no. Oh man, why is my woman with you right now? How dare you do that? Stay home and wallow in self.
Before we get started, I just have a couple of things in the to get through. I want to say hi to the chat before it gets too busy up in here. This comment, MS Coast Life, was the first one in here. Did you hear the latest? Fleece's channel's taken down, hopefully for good. I did not hear that. I don't, like I said, I don't keep in touch with people. I am not as connected with people as y'all might think.
I swear to God, Kasha, I swear to God, if I didn't love you to bits, Excuse me a second. 1 second.
Hey, Patty. Tammy. Faith says it all. Debbie Burns. Lurking meoweth. Lurk you shall.
Yeah, Kasha, if I didn't love you to bits, I would heave ho you in the backside. You'll go from sailor to space cadet instantly. No, but anyway, love you.
Red Rosen, welcome to the chaos that is a live stream. Unfortunately, my pretty will not be joining us because her 3D world is taking priority over YouTube world this week.
Yep.
So
And hello, everybody.
She will be back though. And she is healthy. She has just got 3D world stuff to take care of, which means no internet time.
Yeah,
so.
thing is, they haven't taken her phone off her. So she still has access to the internet. So be careful, people.
Yes, she still has access to the internet. She just doesn't have time to sit down at a computer and talk for a couple hours.
Yeah. Anyway, let me get rid of Shrek.
Kasha, Andrea, Robert, Jeff. I am calling this case Federal 3 because, well, this is Federal 3. I have not seen the kid of the video who walked to Chick-fil-A.
Can I make a suggestion? Oh, sorry.
Fallen Hero. Hey, Joe. Wait, what? Yeah, welcome. This is my and luckily we have a really nice FedEx driver, but he was like, he rang our doorbell so that he could get my attention because I was in the bedroom putting clothes away.
May I make a suggestion?
Anything.
Right. I mean, obviously, I do bear children. Well, I didn't bear children. I just made them. And anyway, yeah. Okay. You just chew with the mic off, and then listen. And naughty. That's not. Anyway, here's my suggestion. When my little one was like that, right, and she was misbehaving and everything, luckily the next door neighbor was a copper, and he gave me a suggestion. And what I did, there are, you can go to your home base or you can go to online store like Amazon and stuff like that. And what you can do is a clamp lock, all right? And basically, you can clamp it from the outside or you can clamp it from the inside, but preferably from the inside. And you put it at a certain height that can't be reached by her or by him or by anyone, if you're married to someone who's shorter than 4 foot. Anyway. And what you do is like a child safety mechanism. So basically, the person from the outside can still open the door if someone needs to get in, or from indoors. So it's just a latch. What you do, you put it on, you clamp it, close the door, and then you just turn it around. So one side on the outside, right, will be on the wall. The other one will be on the door. So it's basically holding the door in.
And Dan, slow mode is on because yesterday I was having a hard time keeping up. When I wanted to put a chat on screen, it would skip to the next one when I clicked it. So it's for me. It's not for the chat per se. It's for my personal keeping up with chat.
Wow, there's a name from the past.
We do have sorry.
Wait.
just the last events of the last 20 minutes threw my brain from work mode to where's my kid and what is he gonna do when I'm on the computer kind of mode. Because usually she's pretty good as long as she's in the house. She doesn't get into much, but getting outside is a whole new thing. So this is the case that was filed. This is what I'm calling Federal 3. This is the initial complaint. It is only 8 pages. However, there are the exhibits. I did have to go through and redact. So if you see me slow down or take it off the screen really quick, it's because I forgot to redact something that I wanted to redact because addresses are in here. And although we know most of the addresses available, I'm still not that person, and I will redact addresses because 1, YouTube terms of service, and 2, I don't want anybody sharing my address. So regardless of whether it's public information or not, I try to not be that asshole, if you know what I mean. Either way, this is so there are people on both sides who have talked about how many lawsuits Jeremy has filed. And I was talking to someone yesterday about this, and they were like, when I mentioned that I was going to be talking about it, they had no idea that this was filed. And they said, "Oh, he filed another lawsuit." And I said, "Yes, but this is the one that I think is the actual most important because this is scheming from a public official. And this is not like, and this has to go with a larger thing than just Lynette and John or the anti what the hell's ecosystem. This is a state and a county not enforcing an order of protection, which they're legally obligated to do. So we have to go and assume that everything in here is true, and I believe that it is based on hearing Jeremy talk. But this is some pretty serious, this is some pretty serious thing, a serious thing, and this is like we always look at one case, but we look at one case and you fit this one case into the big picture. If they have not enforced one person's order of protection, who else have they not, or what other things have they not enforced? And who has gotten hurt as a result of them not enforcing? So it's bigger than Jeremy. Yes, this is Jeremy's lawsuit. Yes, we are all invested in the What the Hales saga, so it has become known as. However, my opinion on this and the reason that this interests me is because if this is true, what has this person right here and people that work for him or with him not enforced because of the good old boys club, so to speak? I live in a good old boy county too. Who has gotten hurt as a result? And I kind of want to do some digging into this person and figure out what he has or has not done and expose the BS, because that is the kind of person I am. It has not a whole lot to do with Jeremy. It has to do with who has become a victim because he didn't do his job. So it's larger than Jeremy. And my perspective on this is Jeremy's lawsuit, but this is larger than Jeremy. So that's how I'm looking at this case. So there is a lot. Squid, Megan did a little bit. Yeah. It's I would love to talk to people who may have gotten injured and or assaulted or anything as a result of him not doing his job properly. So that's that. We're gonna go I'm gonna go at this from not a Jeremy's filed this lawsuit, but what has this person done? Because where there's smoke, there's fire. And where it happens once, it generally happens more than once. So that's just prefacing all of this with that is the angle I am taking looking at this, is not so much Jeremy versus this dude. It's what has this dude done? And is this going to help anybody else? So, yes. And how many other people has this DA done this to others? Yeah. Because order of protections, yes, they are weaponized by people. One of my friends, his ex-wife, decided to pull an Amber Heard and all of a sudden say that she was scared of him and blah, 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 to the point where I wrote a letter to the judge. And that never happens. But I'm like, I've known this person for almost 15 years. Like, no, you're full of it. So I know these things are weaponized, but there are times when these are really needed. And if you're not defending it and you're not enforcing laws because, oh, it's YouTube drama, do we need to name all the people who have been unalived as a result of YouTube drama? Because there is a list. So, all right. But the complaint itself is only 8 pages, so we're going to get through that part pretty fast. So, Jeremy B. Hales and George, collectively plaintiffs, complaining of the defendant, Daniel Rex Owen, hereinafter Owen. And I'm not going to go into the parties because we all know who Jeremy Hales is. If you don't know who Jeremy Hales is by now, see one of the other 30-ish YouTube channels covering this case and or the 300 YouTube videos that I have made on this. But we will go into defendant Daniel Rex Owen is a state official employed by the state of Florida. Jurisdiction and venue. The court has subject matter jurisdiction over this action pursuant to 28 U.S. Code 1331, 42 U.S. Code 1983, as this action arises under the Constitution and laws of the United States and alleges deprivation of rights, privileges, or immunities secured by the Constitution and laws. The venue is the Northern District of Florida because it's Levy County. Here we go. Statement of facts. Yeah. Plaintiffs are protected persons under 2 valid orders of protection issued by the state of Ohio. Copies being attached here is Exhibit 1 and 2, both of which I have. And both of which I have redacted for the sake of everybody's,
Quick one. Dan Davis. Who's George? George is the
No,
partner
he knows
of
who
Jeremy
George
Lee.
is. He's being sarcastic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And also, I've sent you some information in private chat, just very quickly. Just give that a quick glance.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Uh,
I feel like you're producer here for crying out loud.
You kind of are. You kind of are. I'm not against that.
So just a quick one to take you off topic very quickly. I have sent you 3 links to child safety locks. I have checked. Oh, I am now alone here. And there you go.
You're not alone. I just needed to.
Unmuting yourself would really help.
I was waiting to cough and to sneeze, and I didn't want to be on camera, so I just removed myself. Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, if I'm going to be your producer, like, where's the memo? Where's the contract? I'm already in a divorce settlement thing, like, 2 mothers. I mean,
it's more like a it's not a divorce settlement. It's more like a custody agreement.
I'm going to be someone's bitch for a day. No. Okay, crack on. Sorry, I just wanted to put a little break of get you to breathe a little bit.
The protection order was issued on or about October 30th, 2023, after a hearing on October 10th, 2025, in which, I think this is supposed to be 2023. So I would assume, because the protection order goes to October 10th, 2025, which is another interesting point of this, because the timing is so perfect. So, yeah, Don, he knew who George was. He's just being a smartass to derail me, because Dan is funny like that, and he tries hard to get me to go off.
Hi, Cynthia. Good to see you.
How often does a DA get sued in the U.S.? Not very often. Not very often. When she sees this, she sounds like Artillery Barrage. Thank you, Spawn. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Which is one of the reasons that I don't, I'm the type of person that'll break ribs from sneezing.
Yeah. I don't even know why I'm agreeing to that. I'm sorry. Let me know when you want me to do some reading as well.
In which, that Preston and John Cook, the persons against whom the orders were issued, had a reasonable notice and opportunity to be heard. Preston and Cook both attended the hearing via video conference and represented themselves. The issuing court had jurisdiction over the parties and the subject matter under the laws of Ohio. And by not enforcing this, you basically claim that Ohio doesn't know what they're doing. It's like, thanks for a small town DA in BFE, Florida, telling an Ohio court that they're stupid. Like, that's just what this is. Under 18 U.S. Code 2265, defendant was required to give a full faith and credit to the protection orders and enforce them as if they had been issued in Florida. That is true. Crossing state lines, it doesn't matter. If you have an order of protection in California, it still has to be observed in Arizona. If you have doesn't matter. It does not matter the state. If it is issued in one state, no matter where you go in the country, it has to be enforced. Instead of enforcing the protection orders as required by federal law, defendant refused to recognize the validity of the orders. Defendant initiated an investigation into whether plaintiff Hales had been truthful when obtaining the protection order in Ohio. Defendant, in an email dated 10/30/2023, sent to Brett Beauchamp, Under Sheriff Legal Advisor for the Levy County Sheriff's Office, stated, "Can you email me the petition Hales filed in order to obtain this order of protection? If you don't have a copy, please request one from the clerk of Summit County. I want to see if Hales committed perjury in the petition. Specifically, I want to see what representations he made with regards to Preston and Cook's residence. My understanding is that Preston and Cook have no ties to Ohio, much less Summit County, Ohio." That's not the point. Jeremy is a resident of Ohio. He can get it wherever he is a resident, and he is a resident of Ohio. Sucks to be you, bro. Like, sucks to be you. Tug and Megan got a FOIA done that shows a lot of paper trail from Dan Owens. I don't watch Megan and Tug. I have nothing against Megan and Tug, but I don't watch them. I don't have the time, the energy, and also it's a lot of drama that I generally don't want to get into. It's because they cover a lot of things behind the scenes and a lot of the what the Hales and shit that I really just don't give two flying fucks about. The only reason I now care is because it's relevant to this case. That's the only reason that I now give a damn. Because it's relevant to the paperwork in front of me. However, I just, yeah. When I was talking to someone yesterday about Larry's case, they were like, well, watch Megan and Tug. I'm like, they go on at 8:15, whenever they get on Megan and Tug time. That's like prime bedtime, like nighttime routine. 8 is pajamas, 8:30 is in bed, 9 o'clock is bedtime, 9:15 to 9:30 is me winding down. Like, I don't, and I have to be up. What? I don't know what that means. Eggs? You want eggs right now? Okay, hold on. I have to go figure out what my child wants, because sometimes I am sometimes I just can't understand toddler. So,
do you want me to read something, or?
Yes, if you would like to read a copy of this email.
Yep. Okay.
And I will be back in a hot minute.
Okay. All right. A copy of this email is attached hereto as Exhibit 3. 13. By investigating the truthfulness of plaintiff's statement in the original protection order proceeding, defendant effectively re-litigated the merits of the order. On or about the October, well, make your mind up, it's on or around it, October 31st, which is probably old day, 2023, through at least May the 1st, 2024, both plaintiffs were present in the state of Florida, Levy County, on at least 3 occasions beginning November 2023, presented the protection order to Levy County Sheriff's Office, requested enforcement. Now, I'm sure they did it earlier than that, as soon as they got it, actually, but my memory is not as good anymore. Anyway, again, instead of enforcing the protection order as required by federal law, defendants refused to reorganize the validity of the order. On or about November the 20th, 2023, Rizk reported protection and enforcement of the orders to on S. Williams, number 710, with the Lee County Sheriff's Office, who stated in writing a report. Now, if my opinion is, if a document is state or federal, especially if it's federal, right, that means it overrules state. so therefore you have to enforce it. And I've personally seen the video where they richly, contacted the sheriff's office, and they didn't do anything about it. Not just once, but multiple times. And the thing is, you could see the frustration in Jeremy and George and other people. You could actually see the frustration because Levy County Sheriff Office or whatever, and the DA, they seem to like ignore the permanent restraining order. And just because it's in a different state, it's across the board. It's the United States of America. So, and this is why I can't understand your law over there, because 1 minute it's this, next minute it's that. It's like the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. And then when it comes to the fact that both the left hand and the right hand actually know what they're doing, both feet are going left. So it's like, damned if you do and damned if you don't. I mean, you can't win. And the fact that like this was early on in the case, and the fact that this was early on around just after the cease and desist, the fact that the cease and desist was ignored, and the permanent restraining order was ignored, and then you had Judge Grudge, right, enforce a temporary restraining order. From what I gather, that restraining order was 15 days or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks or something like that. But it lasted for over 9.5 months. And like the first thing I said within days of this, like after the first court case, then they went to court again and it didn't get lifted. After that, I said, well, I turned around one day and I went, can't he? And I know for a fact I said it to someone. I said, can't he contact a freedom of speech, freedom, like someone who can represent. What's it called? There's a word for it. Civil rights. So yeah, there you go. Civil rights lawyer, because Jeremy Hale's civil rights were infringed on, from my understanding of U.S. law. Yeah. Anyway, I got down to the writing report.
And I'm sorry, somebody had a Bruce Matt skin that we had to change.
Oh, okay. So do you want me to carry on reading, or?
Yes, please.
Okay. Well, you need to scroll it
up. And Gail brings up a really good point. We only have 74 likes and we have 221 people in here. Usually I don't ask for a whole lot from you guys, but like Thursday is my birthday. Can we get like a couple more?
And wow, I haven't seen two names for a long time, and now they have appeared. I reviewed the Assistant State Attorney's defendant's email regarding this matter. It reads that defendant would caution against enforcing this. Against enforcing this injunction. Miss Rizk was made aware of this and was told this report would be for documentation only. Rizk advised she had a video of the event, which I will attach to this report when it was provided. As a result of the defendant's refusal to enforce the protection orders, plaintiffs were deprived of the protection guaranteed by federal law, which they were multiple times. Plaintiffs have suffered continuous harm to each plaintiff and victim's sense of safety and well-being. Absolutely, considering that John Cook pointed the weapon at him and obviously liked to swing around the weapon like if it was a toy, and also the fact that he pointed it at a couple and a child outside Tube Town, and ended up going to jail for 1 month, 1 month plus. Anyway, victim says there, as a direct result of the defendant's failure to enforce the protection, page 4 of 8, please scroll. Beep, 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 beep.
Sorry, we have she was kicking the wall and scooting my chair over, and it was like, I don't mind if she sits here, but you can stop kicking my chair.
Yeah, scroll down. We are now on page 5. Orders including without limitation: 1, physical harm to the threats of such harm; 2, emotional and psychological harm as a result of Preston and Cook's intimidation and threatening behavior, assault with a gun, which happened; causing mental distress to the plaintiffs. Absolutely, they've been through that. They've been on a continuous basis. 3, fear of unaliving and bodily injury due to Preston Cook's persistent and obsessive behavior. Absolutely. Anyone should be afraid of that. Impact on plaintiff's daily lives and safety. And 5, great financial harm as a result of Preston Cook being emboldened in the defendant's failure to enforce the protection order. The fact that they ignored the cease and desist, and I know that they've received 2 cease desists, one from Jeremy Hales and George, and one from someone from Northport, and they've ignored both. Now, anyway, claims for relief. Count 1, violation of civil rights under 42 United States Code, paragraph 1983, failure to give full faith and credit to protection order. Plaintiff repeat and re-alleges the allegations set forth in paragraph 1 through 17 as a fully set forth herein. Defendant acted under color of state law. Defendant was acting in his capacity as a state official when he refused to enforce plaintiff's protection order and instead investigated their validity. Defendant had a duty under federal law to give full faith and credit to plaintiff's protection order. 18 U.S. Code paragraph 2265 or section 2265 requires that protection orders issued by one state to be given full faith and credit by officials in another state, provided the issued court has jurisdiction and afforded due process.
And it's let me interrupt you for just a second. It's not his job to investigate. It's Ohio's job to investigate. By investigating, he is basically saying that Ohio didn't do their due diligence and is stupid.
Yep. I think both sides didn't do their due diligence. If you go to, so if I come to you and I hand you a document and it's like a legal document, right? And you ignore it or you say, oh, this is not official. That's how stupid it is.
Yeah. And let me get to the super chat really quick.
Yeah.
Hambone, thank you for the $5 super chat. You look so pretty today. Great show today. Thanks. My hair is it's gym hair. I threw some dry shampoo and said, whoop, I got to go to work after this. So here we go.
Where was I?
And Jeffrey brings up a good point. And I think I have I have 2 theories on this. Neither one of which are 100% right, and it might be a combination of the 2, or it might be none. Once again, I don't talk to Jeremy. Like, I have nothing against Jeremy when I say this, but Jeremy and I are not friends. I know some people have taken offense to when I say Jeremy and I are not friends. Jeremy doesn't know my first name. Like, Jeremy and I don't talk. We don't text. Do I hate the man? Absolutely not. However, so when I say Jeremy and I aren't friends, it's like, it's not an insult. It's just a reality. The lady at the grocery store, her and I friends? No, but do I think she's a nice person and has generally good intentions in life? Yes. That doesn't mean we're besties. It has nothing to do with friends. But my thoughts on this, why it's taken nearly 2 years for this to come up. 1, Jeremy has had multiple other things going on. So, okay, I have 3 theories. So this was kind of on the back burner because of everything else that was going on. Secondly, you want to give people the benefit of the doubt and think that they are going to change. They're going to realize the error of their ways and start enforcing it when you realize that it's like, okay, initially when I show somebody an order of protection, they might go, okay, this is pretty, why do you need an order of protection against them? That's pretty lame, bloody blah, whatever. But after 2 years of like back and forth and you see all the shit that's going on, okay, maybe now we might want to start enforcing it because it kind of has a point. And 3, this was granted for 2 years on October 10th of 2023. What is coming up? October 10th, 2025. It expires soon. So it's now or never. Because if you look at the the idiot behind this keyboard might not be your friend, but likes you sometimes. Yeah, thank you. Like, I know that a couple people, I say the Jeremy Hales thing and I repeat it because there are people who are new to this channel, but I had said it months ago, and there are people who wanted to talk shit about me on the What the Hales hater page when it was up and running, about the fact that I said I wasn't friends with Jeremy, so I shouldn't be talking about this.
You don't have to be friends of someone to have an opinion and basically, support someone on a premise of, you're seeing what's going on, so you're giving your constructive opinion across. You don't have to be friends with someone. I mean, like you and I and my pretty, we're friends, and I'm a girl, we're friends. But our friendship is it's has a base. Whereas, like when I discuss this, okay, now Jeremy has never come into my stream. Torgad's never come in. Madam Mayor came in once, but that was a long, long time ago. I don't expect these individuals to come in. I mean, I am talking about it because, to be honest with you, all right, every single person on the What the Hell side have been targets of ridicule, character assassinations, and defamatory and libel. And it's like, I mean, how stupid do you have to be to not understand that?
Yeah, I just had to reiterate it for the new people
Yeah,
that
no,
are
but
here because, like, when I say Jeremy and I aren't friends, that is nothing against Jeremy. That is like I'm my neighbors, generally nice people across the street. Like, do we hang out every day? No. Are we acquaintances? Yes. Are we friends? No. Just because you're not friends with someone. I always talk on this channel about we live in a gray area in society, and people, especially when emotions get involved, tend to be all or nothing. If you don't like everything I do, you hate me. It's like, no, that's not how that works. Like, that's
I
not
mean,
how that works.
yeah, I mean, like,
We
I'll be.
I
Well, sorry.
it's we're not friends, but that doesn't mean that, like, I'm sure if Jeremy and I knew each other, we might be friends.
Yeah.
It's just one of those, like, I can't be friends with someone I don't know. Like, it's hard to be friends with someone who doesn't know my first name.
Yeah.
It's like, it's that. Like, are Tug and I friends?
Yeah.
No. Are Larry and I friends? No. But do I have anything against any of them?
Yeah.
No. Like, we just don't talk.
Do you know? I know that bit, but just for the record, ladies and gentlemen, and this goes to the mods as well. Ray Bone Crusher, who's in the chat, is not the Ray Bone Crusher.
No, it's Ray Bone Rusher. It's a parody account.
Right.
Just like Bruce Manskin yesterday.
Yeah. Before we carry on reading, I just want to say a couple of things. I have got to know. I mean, as a new YouTuber, I mean, everyone knows the basic story of why I started live streaming, because it was these people who forced me to do it. Anyway, that's beside the point. I have met so many nice people, and the fact that my wife enjoys squid, the entire family of the squid tentacle people. Okay, I mean the entire, it's Papa Squid, Mama Squid, Squid, Baby Squid, Daddy Squid, Squid, everyone. And there's a lot of people that I've got to know, and I've built a friendship with. Now, there's other people who will believe other people's bullshit and never make their own mind up, never come to my stream or never come and talk to me. And next thing you know, they're going, well, hang on a minute. He's not that bad at all. He's just very foul. He swears a lot, and he coughs, and he says it as it is, and he hasn't got a filter. Well, welcome to my world.
I don't have a filter either.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, funny enough, Squid and I's friendship started off on a negative, not with each other, but with a situation, and it started off with a negative. And look where it's got us. We don't do drama. We fucking talk shit to each other, and she calls me names, I call her, I laugh at her, I call her names, I laugh at her again, and she then goes and buys a sheep, and now she's like
I preface this with this is my child's toy and learning animals.
Sure.
I buy
Yep.
animal toys. Well,
Yep.
she has a sheep in there, so I stole it.
Yeah. I am just hearing excuses right now.
And
But
I did
anyway,
a stream. We're derailing ourselves, but I did a
no,
stream
no,
on
we're not. I
parasocial.
just want to make absolutely one thing clear, and I want to emphasize this. Right? There's parts of me that people don't see, but my friends do, like Squid or other people that know me behind the scenes, and I'm not like that behind the scenes the way I am when I'm streaming. Right? I go, I stream, I give you the information, I show you the facts, the truth. And if there's ever people who want to talk out their ass, let them talk out their ass. Because at the end of the day, toilet paper is way too cheap to worry about it.
And I
Anyway,
did a stream on parasocial relationships that
yes.
we still have work to do on that, but I just haven't had the time.
Yeah.
Stacy, how are you? It has been so long.
Stacy Schmidt again. I haven't seen. There's a couple of people who've come in tonight, and I haven't seen them for so long. And hello, everybody.
I know because this is literally new information. I mean, a new lawsuit. It's not like
Where was I anyway? Did I finish that top one?
We are at 23. I can read.
Yeah, go for it. I'll be right back.
All right. Defendant deprived plaintiffs of rights secured by federal law, and that's a problem. By refusing to enforce plaintiffs' valid protection orders and instead investigating the truthfulness of plaintiffs' statements in obtaining the order, defendant violated plaintiffs' federal protected rights to have the order enforced across state lines. That is true. Defendant's actions were the proximate cause of plaintiff's damages. And this statement is it's a short statement, but it's a very impactful statement. Because if he would have enforced this 2 years ago, what drama would have been saved? Where would we not be? Would Federal 2 even exist? I know it's the what if game, and generally we hate playing that what if, but
oh, sorry.
Yeah, I didn't really either, but we live in this all or nothing kind of world, and this case or this saga, because it's more than one case, seems to be a microcosm of if you don't agree with me 100%, you are against me. My friends know I don't agree with anybody 100% because I don't even agree with Mr. Squid 100%. Because if you agree with anybody in life 100%, you're either completely stupid or you're brainwashed and you're not thinking for yourself. We'll never agree. Like, no one ever agrees 100% of the time.
We don't.
Yeah, of course we don't.
Nope.
Like,
Horse Picker, good to see you.
Picker, I responded. So, I responded to you. The Middlesex County is where a certain someone lives. So have fun with that information.
Teresa Butcher just hit the nail on the fucking head.
It all goes back to Meeks. They all know each other. It's the good old boys club.
Yeah.
And I live in Southeast Georgia. Like, I live in a good old boy kind of part of the country too. Because even the cities here are not cities. Like, they're like,
do you know what?
They're not. Savannah's a city, but it's like, it's not really.
Do you know something? If a millionaire contacted me right now and says, right, if I could arrange a property, a house, everything you need, where would you want to move to in the States? I would go, right, I'm going to grab the cat, the dog, the wife, my 2 cars, my bike, and all the Gucci shit, and I go, Texas. And I'll tell you one thing, right?
Would you like to start reading at paragraph 26? The little is yelling at me again because she wants something, and I'm not sure what she wants.
Okay.
Oh, actually.
Okay.
She's sitting in her dad's chair, but let there be light.
On the next day, he said, let there be light. All right. As a direct and proximate result of the defendant's failure to enforce the protection order, plaintiffs suffered continuous harm to each plaintiff and victim's sense of safety and well-being. As a direct result, the defendant's failure to enforce the protection order included without limitation one, I'm sure we've gone through this. Okay, I'll read it again. Physical harm and threats of such harm. 2, emotional and physical psychological harm as a result of President Cook's intimidation and threatening behavior.
There is a lot of repetition, but this whole case is
right. Intimidation and threatening behavior. Talk about deja vu. Assault with a pew-pew causes mental distress to plaintiffs. Fear of unalive and bodily injury due to President Cook's persistent and obsessive behavior. 3, impact on plaintiffs' daily lives and safety. And 5, great financial harm as a result of President Cook's being emboldened by defendant's failure to enforce a protection order. President Cook enlisted others in civil conspiracy to harm Hales as a result of President Cook's being emboldened by defendant's failure to enforce the protection order. Absolutely. Causing Hale significant and ongoing financial harm since defendant's failure to enforce the protection order. They should have also added in there and also failure to follow the cease and desist that was stated.
Well, technically speaking, a cease and desist is like, it legally means nothing. It's more of like a stop doing this or I'll sue you. But it legally has no power, so mentioning it in a lawsuit is kind of useless and a waste of time. And I can appreciate that Randy generally doesn't put stuff in his lawsuits that don't matter. I like that as far as his writing style. He doesn't put, or whoever writes. I've heard that Doreen writes. Whoever writes these does not put things that don't matter in the lawsuits, which I greatly appreciate from a reading perspective.
Do you want to carry or should I carry on?
I can carry on.
Yeah, cool.
Count 2, which this paragraph 27 goes back to would Federal 2 exist? Playing the what if game. Would Federal 2 even exist, and what would change? And would Federal 1 be done with if they would have enforced the protection order?
Right. Here's a chain reaction. If they were to enforce the protection order, then basically it would have came to a standstill with the 2 cases. However, due to the involvement of Bruce Matskin, Richard Luthman, Michael Fulp, Lisa Rubusi, and everyone else involved in this, including fucking Jabba the Hoot and Swamp Lizard, right? It caused a vacuum. And basically, it just basically got out of control. And the fact that you had other people who were antagonizing, subterfuging, deflecting, and everything else, and everything was being done online, it just made it worse and worse and worse. This is probably, and with all this that's been going on over the last year and a bit, maybe this is the reason why this lawsuit has only now come to the surface, because obviously they have to concentrate on certain things, get that done, and then come back to this. And now they're dealing with this, right? Because obviously, things are starting to move forward now. So it's only a matter of time when the court cases that are necessary to be dealt with are in order. Does that make sense?
And Jeff has a good comment, being my Florida law enforcement guru on this channel. Cease and desist is just a requirement prior to a defamation case filing in Florida.
Sorry, what did you just say there?
Cease and desist is a requirement prior to a defamation case filing in Florida.
Oh, yeah. Someone else mentioned that last year sometime.
It is made to intimidate you so you will stop. Same thing you did when your mother called you by your full name, first, middle, and last. Or your mother says, Angel, wait till your father gets home.
Uh-oh.
I texted Mr. Squid and told him to look at the security cameras. And
wait a minute, is this the same lawyer who refused to bring charges against someone who tried to run over someone in a parking lot a while back?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Huh, interesting.
But getting to count 2. Violation of due process rights under 48 or 42 U.S. Code 1983. Plaintiff repeats and realleges paragraphs 1 through 17. Defendant acted under color of state law. Defendant was acting in his capacity as a state official when he refused to enforce plaintiff's protection orders and instead investigated their validity. Plaintiffs had a protected liberty interest. Plaintiffs had a protected liberty interest in the enforcement of the valid protection orders, which were designed to ensure plaintiff's safety and security. Defendant deprived plaintiff of that interest without constitutionally adequate process. Ooh, due process.
You see, this is like certain sentences in this are. Yes, this is going to be extremely interesting. The judge is going to read this and like my reaction to that comment there.
Because he's a state's attorney, the governor will probably see this.
I think about the governor needs to get his head out of his ass and actually start doing something about the law in that county or in Florida. Because I tell you one thing, from what I've experienced, I will never, ever go to Florida. And if I do, it will only be to visit someone during the day and then leave, preferably before nightfall.
Hey, Tammy.
Did she just say why? Did Baby Squid just say why?
She might have.
Because I want to. What are you going to do about it? No.
The decision to investigate the truthfulness of plaintiff statements in obtaining orders effectively nullified the orders without any hearing or other process. And effectively, literally just said F you to the state of Ohio and basically said to the judge in Ohio, you're stupid and you don't know what you're doing. I mean, like, honestly, though, like, it literally just. Go to Florida on vacation home or stay in an area that is coastal because they have more people.
Yeah, go to Florida on vacation, go home on probation. Yeah. Let me ask you.
Cruise ship mama says seems to be more issues, and I love your avatar. I love the hat.
Yeah.
Seems to be more issues on the Gulf side. My mom lived near Daytona, and if you blink wrong, they arrest you.
Let me ask you a question. If
it's a
Jeremy
loaded statement right there.
If Jeremy decides and he said, you know what, screw this, I want to take this to Supreme Court. I mean, it would cost an arm and a leg, but I tell you one thing, it would change the foundation of the law in Florida, that's for sure.
I doubt the Supreme Court of Florida might take this, but I doubt that like the Supreme Court of the U.S. would even touch.
No, that's what I meant. Florida.
Supreme. They might. I doubt it, but they might. I don't know. I have no faith in our judicial system right now. From a civil side. Criminal 50-50. From a civil, absolutely no absolutely no Supreme Court of Florida. Not even close to being there. We need more like Sheriff Grady in Florida. Yeah. Or the Volusia County Sheriff. I don't know what his name is. I can see his face. He does press conferences too, where it's like, don't come to this county and screw up.
Yeah, because if you get shot, it's your own fault.
Pretty much. Well, not if you not that, but if you do something stupid and get shot as a result, then it's your fault.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah, you finished that one.
Yeah, wherefore plaintiffs respectfully request the court enter judgment against defendant and grant the following relief. Declaration that defendant's failure to give full faith and credit to plaintiff's out-of-state protection orders violated 18 U.S. Code 2265 and plaintiff's constitutional rights.
Snap.
Compensatory damages against the defendant in an amount to be determined at trial for the injuries suffered by plaintiff as a result of defendant's unlawful conduct.
Oh, snap.
Punitive damages. Punitive damages against defendant in an amount to be determined at trial for defendant's willful, malicious, or reckless disregard of plaintiff's federally protected rights. Right here, the closer you get to Georgia, the crazier the loonies. Hey, now.
Hey,
reasonable attorney's fees and costs incurred in bringing this action. An injunctive relief requiring defendant and those acting in concert with defendant to give full faith and credit to valid protection orders from other states and to refrain from investigating the basis for such orders except as permitted by federal law. Oh, and a resignation letter would be on my on my list of things too, but you know. And then here is the Summit County, Ohio. So this is the actual protection order, which terms of this order shall be effective until 10/10/2025.
So next month.
Yeah. Which is where the interesting
Hang on a minute, I thought it was for 5 years.
It can be up to 5 years.
Oh, right, okay.
Generally, from what I've seen across the country, it's 2.
Right, so basically...
I just have to take this down for just a second.
Yeah, basically, what they could then now do is contact the Ohio court, say, you know, we want to extend it. And I doubt very much because like the Ohio hearings, the court hearings that are supposed to still happen there, they haven't happened yet. That's something else that needs that sort of, you know, on the old pressure cooker. So, hi, Freckle.
Hey, Freckle Ginger, how are you? There we go. Yep.
Yeah, pickle ting. I'm only being facetious. That's all. You know, I'm not saying that all Florida. I'm just saying that, you know, Florida doesn't make me feel legally safe, if that makes any sense.
And Jeff brings up a really good point. It's not all of Florida. It's small, unpopulated counties in Florida have been an issue here for decades. They just can't shake that 1940 attitude of good old boys. It's and it's not just Florida. It's not just Florida. It's small towns all over that are resistant to change. Which it's okay to not enjoy change, because I really don't like a whole lot of change either. But you know, it's one thing to be resistant to change. It's another thing to completely screw over people who move from bigger cities or people who move from out of state for anything. Squid, look at look at your comment. Which comment? Florida is God's waiting room. I mean,
yeah, Lisa, it does, doesn't it?
They are the only county in North Central Florida that does not have body cameras. Ooh. And I wonder why that is. But final civil protection order. The terms of this order shall be effective until 10/10/25. So there's that.
I've got a funny feeling this is going to get extended. And even if it doesn't, then basically it's going to be the clash of the titans, because, you know, they're going to be told, right, if there's no injunction on them, they're going to be told it, and they are going to deliberately antagonize Jeremy and George. because now they know that the orders is done, and they're going to be on them like flies to shit.
Yeah, and Sharon said JH said they and his legal team are working on the Ohio case, and a hearing is coming very soon. Yeah, generally a hearing is scheduled 2 weeks before, which would be about now. So if you want it from what I've noticed across the country, I have never had to actually do this. So I'm speaking from what I've seen from various cases around the country, and my the Amber Heard wannabe that is my friend's ex-wife,
Oh.
from her issues. But I've never actually done this myself, so I am speaking from my experience of seeing multiple orders of protection around the country be enforced and re-upped, just not my own personal experience. I wonder if that's why George is back in Ohio. Possibly. I mean, I have no idea. I can't speak to I cannot speak to any of that because Fun fact, 1983, a small county in North Florida, the owner of a rural bar just outside of a dry County had a segregated package area still. I feel like certain people are trying to make segregation back in style, and it's not who you expect it to be. When colleges are having segregated graduation ceremonies, it's like, that's a problem. It's a big problem. The Ohio judges struck on what JH can say about the cases as well. George is in Ohio for auction school. Ooh, auction school. So this is the second order of protection. So, yep, 10/10/2025. This one also says 10/10/2025. So, here's what's interesting, just to read. Petitioner presented credible testimony and evidence in support of a civil stalking protection order. The court specifically notes that petitioner and respondent are neighbors at their properties located in Florida. The Ohio court is well aware that John and Lynette do not live in Ohio. And guess what? They still granted it because Jeremy is a resident of Ohio. Funny how that state law works. Oh, and it's amazing how many good old boys, not only are they the good old boys club, but they also don't have any knowledge of the law outside of their own narrow scope of I've never left my county. There are people here, my mom's boss per se has never lived outside of this county. She's never lived outside of this county. She is 60. She's never lived outside this county. This is not a big county.
I was muted the whole time and I was asking you a question. I was like, why are you ignoring me? And then I looked up and I went, oh yeah, I'm muted.
That's why.
Yeah. You know what just dawned on me? The fact that Lynette contacted the mayor of the town that their place where they live, and the fact that that's interference, isn't it? Just nod. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it could be. It all depends on the context and what other facts that we don't know.
Did they go to court about that?
Honestly, so much has happened in this whole saga that I don't pay attention to. That I don't know. They very well could have. I don't know.
Yeah, because
yes. Okay.
Oh, I just noticed something.
Yes. Lynette stepped into Ohio when she wrote the mayor in Jeremy's town. Reading is important.
Yeah.
Here's
yes, because Yeah, it's harassment cross state lines. Isn't there like another law that can actually? My brain's just gone. I'm so tired.
And I don't, yeah. And how does anyone know what's real anymore? I'm getting confused, Gail. And that's why I'm like, I don't know what is real, what is my imagination anymore. And that is half the reason why I just focus on the documents, because I can't remember what happened or what is real or what the chat said versus what actually happened. Because sometimes things get, you know how the telephone game and things get misconstrued in chat or just in text, and I pay attention to documents and what I see in writing, because that's what the court sees, and that is what I can go back to and refer back to, not someone said this in a chat 6 months ago, or I saw this in somebody else's YouTube video that I can't find because I don't know what date it was. Like, I just can't keep up. Yeah. So it's and this is a good point too. I have to wonder if Judge Grudge had not allowed the 3 ex parte meetings, things may have been different with Dan Owen. And that's the what if game. It's like it's every action we take in life directs where our lives go.
Yeah, it's the ifs and the buts.
It's like, like someone holds you up at a restaurant or talks to you for a little extra time and you're annoyed with it, but then you drive down the road and there's a car accident, and if you would have been there 4 minutes sooner, if that person hadn't stopped you and started to talk to you and wasted your time, you might have been involved in that accident. So yeah, that's happened to me. So that's why I bring that up, because somebody held me up at a restaurant for like 5 minutes and I'm like, I gotta go. And then when I was driving home, there was like a 4 or 5 car accident in an intersection that I would have been in had I been there slightly earlier. So it's kind of one of those, like, every decision you make in life has consequences and shapes the way your future is, whether that's 10 minutes in the future or 10 years in the future. And it's like, it's narrows, or that's just a small scope example, but this is the what if game. You kind of can't play it, but you kind of can. And this is where we kind of can, because at the end of the day, it ain't my life. This was extended to, I think, to 5 years. According to the documents, it hasn't been. And if it had been, it would be, but we haven't seen the rest of these documents. We're on page 12 of 29. So we will see. But as of this document that is in here in Jeremy's lawsuit, it is effective until not next week, but the following week. Getting back to this court order issued in Ohio must be given full faith and credit pursuant to Violence Against Women Act, 18 U.S. Code 2265. The court further notes that when the parties are located on their own property, the distance is reduced to 10 feet. When the parties are not on their respective properties, the distance remains at 500 feet. This order includes any internet and or electronic communications. So, the court finds by a preponderance of the evidence that respondent has knowingly engaged in a pattern of conduct that caused petitioner to believe that respondent will cause physical harm or has caused mental distress. The following orders are equitable, fair, and necessary to protect the persons named in this order from stalking offenses. I mean, the respondent shall not enter the residence, school, business, place of employment, daycare centers, or child care providers of the protected persons named in this order, including the buildings, grounds, parking lots at those locations. Respondent may not violate this order even with the permission of the protected person. So even if Jeremy or George say, yeah, come on, you still can't do it. Like this is another interesting, it's very interesting to actually see the documents and read the documents. Respondent, because it puts everything that they have done and they have said they haven't done in, or they didn't have to do, into perspective. Respondent shall stay away from petitioner and all other protected persons named in this order and not be present within 500 feet or 10 feet while on property or own property of any protected person wherever these protected persons may be found or place respondent knows or should know the protected persons are likely to be. Even with a protected person's permission, if respondent accidentally comes in contact with protected persons in any public or private place, respondent must depart immediately. This order includes encounters on public and private roads, highways, and thoroughfares. I mean, for like Walmart, for example, like you're not going to know in the parking lot of, 100 cars if they're there. However, if you see their car or you see them walking through Walmart, your ass got to go. So it's interesting to actually read. Because, we didn't have to do that, or we didn't say that, or we don't have to do that. That's not what the document says. Yeah, town hall meeting. Respondent shall not initiate or have contact with the protected persons named in this order or their residence, business, places of employment, schools, or child care providers. Contact includes, but is not limited to, landline, cordless, cellular or digital telephone, text, instant message, fax, email, voicemail, delivery service, social media, blogging, writings, electronic communications, posting a message, or communications by any other means, directly or through another person. Third-party contact. Respondent may not violate this order even with the permission of a protected person. It's just interesting. Respondent shall not cause or encourage any person to act prohibited by to do any act prohibited by this order. How much you want to bet there's been some stuff. Yeah, and we're only on page 14 of 29, so we are not done yet. So I appreciate everybody in the chat saying that it's been changed or it's been this, but like I have not seen these documents because once again, I don't pay attention to not in court stuff because it doesn't matter to me. The YouTube stuff is what I was interested in because it affects me in the sense of, and Spawn, you can understand where I'm coming from with this. When someone is interfering with your business,
Yeah.
or threatens you online, or does this or does that, or threatens to call CPS on you like Bruce did to me. It's situations like that where this case actually affects and I have a personal connection with, considering these federal cases may get the judicial system and or law enforcement to take online shit more seriously.
And the thing is, if someone interferes in your business, even after you've stepped away or you've moved away from any type of conflict, if they do it, then you've got them by the balls, and there's nothing they can do because you've got evidence, you've got legal proof. So, and it's with Lynette and John, if they would have just kept a low profile, stayed away from them, tried to not put their opinions and their mood swings and God knows what else online, half of what we're seeing and witnessing over the last year and a half wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. This is why on this channel, I literally only pay attention to the documents because there's too much stuff that happens behind the scenes, out what happened before. That's other people are good at that. My brain capacity and the fact that I had freaking surgery and I get brain fog. I get brain surgery. Like, I had brain surgery, y'all. My brain fog on a day when I don't sleep well or I have a headache is real, and it's not easy. And people have complained about me not remembering things or saying or other certain things. I I have a titanium patch on my brain. And some days that just does not feel good.
No.
So and does not I don't have good days. Some days I have really bad pain days. So I can't keep up with all of the stuff that goes on, what happened 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Yes, I hear bits and pieces, but I can't remember timelines, which is why Rosalind's channel and her working on that timeline is so helpful and entertaining to me, because it actually puts it in a way that my simplistic Kiari brain can understand. Like, I can't focus on all that stuff because with the other cases I'm covering, when I do actually cover them, combined with trying to do everything I've got to do in the 3D world, my brain cannot handle it all. Um, so this is the first time y'all might have seen these documents before, and Jeremy might have talked about these specifically. These are the first time that I am seeing this specific set of documents, not hearing someone talk about it, but actually seeing the document.
Yeah,
So
this is the first time for me as well. I'm just
like,
sitting here in a total amazement, to be honest. I mean, like, I've said multiple times that I only give my opinion, but I moved away from the legal side of it because, to be honest with you, people are right. Yeah, I don't live in the States. I don't, I'm not an American. I don't know the American law, but I do know common sense. And there's a lot of it lacking on one side of this absolute foobar of a situation.
yeah. So this is so this is the another copy of it. It still says 10/10/25. So
I think it's going to get extended.
I'm sure it will, especially with multiple lawsuits for anything.
Yeah.
It's it it's
Or they may even make it permanent.
I don't know if they'll do that because that's a relative rarity. Like, you rarely see, and I have personally never seen in the cases that I've covered that have orders of protection. I
Yeah,
don't think I could be wrong and I could be misspeaking on a case that I've seen,
yeah,
but I cannot remember a case, and that, like, I just talked about my memory. So, I can remember what I did on like the second Tuesday of third grade, and what we ate for lunch and
yeah.
what we did for a project, but I can't remember what I ate for dinner last night, kind of a situation. Um, it's it's weird what my brain can and can't remember, but I don't remember a case that I've covered where I've seen an order of protection be made permanent. Very
Hang on a minute.
rare.
Cruz Mama just said that it was extended after the last violation, and it's up for another 3 years. But where does it say that?
Well, and that's the thing about what people have said in the chat, like,
Yeah,
but I would believe if that, and we still have 7 pages to go.
yeah.
So we still have 7 pages to go. But Kathy, thank you for this comment. Totally understand why you don't follow the rest of the cases. You don't have enough hours in the day. I do enjoy what you do cover. It fills in holes that don't get shown. Not not taking days. And I also try not to get involved in the drama, in the sense of I do not ever want to, and this, like I said, this is not, this is the way I think and the way my brain works. This is not meant to shade any other creator and how they do things on their channels. That is their thing. Um, they do what they're good at and what they like to do. I don't ever want to involve myself in a case where all of a sudden the case becomes about me. And that kind of happened a little bit with Bruce and talking about baby squid. But at the same time, like, I have not been there's been a lot of people who have been added to litigation, and I have not. And I like to keep it that way because you can't sue somebody for reading a public document because that's just, however, when I don't get involved in the drama, I can remain more analytical with what the documents actually say versus being emotional about things or feeling like I'm getting emotional about things. I don't let I I have to have emotions in order to get emotional for one. I always joke about that with Mr. Squid. It's like I have to have emotions in order to like, you know, um, And Diane, most is supposed to be an automatic renew. Not all of them, not all of them do. Especially like as you've seen in the Laura Owens case against Mike Martini in California. She just renewed that protection order. She actually had to go and renew that protection order. I like it because you're unbiased. I have my moments. I have my moments, and obviously the facts lead me to being towards one side because you can be unbiased and still have an opinion. Like I can play devil's advocate, and I have with certain aspects of this case. However, the facts generally lead you to one side. Let's be honest here. Like, gotta call. I call balls and strikes, but you gotta call a spade a spade. Like And this is the same thing. This is the same thing. Same thing here. This is all blacked out. Clerk of court shall cause a copy of this order to be served on respondent. If the full hearing proceeding was referred to a magistrate, the court has reviewed the magistrate's granting of this order and finds no error of law or other defect evident on the face of the order. Accordingly, the court adopts the magistrate's granting of this order. Like, so once again, stamped Summit County, Ohio. And I lived in Ohio, and I have no idea where Summit County even is. So there's that. It's.
Do you know what? I can't wait until this is all over. Actual fact, I don't really care when it's over. I just know for a fact that it's.
According to this expires on 10/10/25, and I'm sure if it truly did get extended, that Jeremy would have put it in here, or Randy would have put it in here.
Yeah.
And they haven't. So, according to the lawsuit, it expires October 10th, 2025. 2 weeks. Akron area? Okay, I lived in like Portsmouth area. So they just included the one enforced when the crap was being done and still enforced. They should have, but if that was the case, I believe, and if that truly is the case,
shit.
Well, if that truly is the case, I believe that was a huge misstep on Randy's part because they should not only have put the original, but the one that was extended to say, hey, not only is it here, but you have another 3 years of this.
No, I'm looking at that email.
Oh, yeah. But before we get to the email, just responding to what the chat said about it being extended. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, of course, but I feel like if it truly did get extended, the future one, but is it though? It's not irrelevant in the sense of listen, it's not irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. is irrelevant into the time frame which this started, but this is an ongoing issue. It would be different if Jeremy moved away and this was no longer an issue that needed to be enforced. But if it's truly did get extended, and I'm saying truly because honestly, I have no idea. Y'all are saying it did, but I haven't seen it. And once again, it's one of those things of like, unless I see it for myself, I assume, but I trust but verify kind of thing, and I haven't verified. So, and there we go. The new one might not be valid until the first expires. Well, here's the thing though. I would put that in because this might not get responded to by Dan Owen until after that one expires, after this one expires. So in my feeling, it's a misstep in the sense of, and this is where I'm like, I call it like I see it. Randy is human, not perfect. Not putting it in there. You have 2 weeks. If you put it in there, you can show that this is an ongoing issue, not just a, hey, this was 2 years ago and up till now. Like, this is an issue that needs your attention because it's ongoing. So, just because if you show this one, yes, it expires 10, this one expires 10/10. Like I said, this is just my opinion, but you show the court, if you put that other one in here, you show the court that this is not just an issue that is an expired issue. This is an ongoing, it was extended. This court needs to pay attention to this case because they not only have not done it for 2 years, Ohio extended it and it needs to be looked at now. So, yeah, Randy, not the attorney in Ohio. Yes. And that's a communication, that's also a communication thing between Randy and the attorney in Ohio. If Jeremy doesn't have a copy of it, there could be more behind the scenes that I don't know about. Obviously, I don't claim to know everything, hence why I just put out my ideas and we discuss it because yeah. JH is waiting on the last contempt charge that may have the new PO. Yeah, I just feel like if they have that document, not putting it in here is a misstep. If they don't have it and it's in the works of being extended, that's one thing. It's just if it's already been extended and they have that document, I feel like not putting it in here is a misstep. So, yes, everyone send my pretty Pam well wishes on her new house. Good things are happening. That's probably what next week's court is. Possibly. But here's we get to the last page, but what I feel is the most important of all of it. From Dan Owen. And yes, I did show emails, but here, before we read the email, under Florida law, email addresses are public records. If you do not want your email address released in response to a public records request, do not send electronic mail to this entity. Instead, contact this office by phone or in writing. That's why I didn't retract the email. Because it says right on the document. This is from Dan Owen to Brett Beauchamp. Can you email me the petition that blank filed in order to obtain this order of protection? If you don't have a copy, please request one from the clerk of Summit County. I want to see if he committed perjury in the petition. That's not your job. That's not your job. That is out of your scope of practice. Like, that is outside of your scope of practice, as we say in occupational therapy. That is not for you to decide. That is not for you to worry about. I'm sure there are official channels if you believe that you are enforcing something that is not lawful. However, I don't think emailing Levy County's a representative from the Levy County Sheriff's Office is the appropriate way to go about that. Just, yeah, out of jurisdiction. But it's not out of jurisdiction. It's like it's not even your. I was like, that's not even your job. Even if it was your jurisdiction, your job is to enforce it, not to do the investigating. As you know what I mean? Like, that's the That's a cop's job to do the investigating. So, yes, and thank you, Graham Sue. I appreciate it. Chat Squid is going by what is seen, not what is heard. I agree with her way of reporting. Thank you. Beecham. Okay. Thank you. Well, just because this dude seems like a jerk, I don't care if I'm mispronouncing his name. I think she was, but I want to look into not just him, but like specific cases. Um, I don't remember. That was a long time ago. Lots of stuff has happened. Um, that's when I didn't have a channel, and or I had a channel, but I only had like 100 subscribers, so I didn't really stream that much. But it's it's one of those situations where like I would like to do a deep dive on specific cases and get those documents of those cases and see if I can make a dossier on a certain someone. So, just me being a bitch. If you don't have a copy, please request. My understanding is that we know who this is. Lynette and John have no ties, much less to Summit County. It doesn't matter. This is, once again, it doesn't matter. Jeremy is a resident of Summit County. That's the only thing that matters. And he has property in Levy County. That's the only other thing that matters. Like, this is where people pay attention to shit that doesn't matter. Like, people put shit in motions all the time that doesn't matter. Like the motion we read yesterday. There's a bunch of shit in there that does not actually pertain to the issue at hand, if you really want to call that an issue. It's just it's it's just so stupid. But that's the email in question. So, with that being said, this is where we are going to do some final thoughts, and we are going to call it a day for this one. Hi. I believe he's appointed. I believe he's appointed. I don't think he is elected. I could be wrong, but I could be wrong. So, it's just it's
insanity. That's what it is.
Yeah.
The thing is, there's a lot of people out there who make up shit because they think they're experts, but there's one thing that people seem to forget. At the end of the day, we're talking about human beings here. We're talking about people making mistakes and not learning from mistakes. And unfortunately, this is being publicized like if it was a fucking, a new TV series. But hopefully, and I mean this with hopefully, Lynette and John Cook will learn very quickly. Whoops, I just took a photo of myself.
Pickle Tink, they didn't actually put a dollar amount in. They said what the judge feels appropriate, basically. So there was no actual dollar amount in this one. So.
For what? For
damages.
Excuse me?
For damages. There was no actual dollar amount in this lawsuit of what they were asking for.
Yeah, they're leaving it up to the judge. Yeah. And to be perfectly honest with you, that email at the end, that's not going to come. That's going to come back to bite him in the ass.
And I haven't. Okay, for those of you who don't watch Mo in the Deep End, go subscribe to her. However, she has put it in all of the cases she covers and all the crazy news that she covers. She has put it in many ways that make so much sense. If you're going to be stupid, don't write down our crimes.
Yeah.
Don't email our crimes. Don't take pictures of our crimes. If you're going to be stupid, which I do not recommend. No, Tammy, she's referring to this filing for Federal 3. there is no dollar amount. This filing that we just read, there is no dollar amount. It's, if I learned one thing from Mama Mo, and I say that, but she's like my age, do not write down our crimes. Don't don't record. If you're gonna be stupid, do not write it down. Whatever might have been, y'all, whatever might have been said for damages, this is document 1 of a brand new case. This has no number in it. You guys might be referring to Federal 2 that had all those outrageous numbers, or what Randy and Jeremy might expect. But as far as what was submitted to the court, and I downloaded this morning, and there is no updated amended filing yet. There is no number in this. So whatever is been said about this case, there is what has been submitted to the court. There is no number. Like, here, this is what they want. Request, failure to give, compensatory damages, but no number, punitive damages, no number, reasonable attorney's fees, injunctive relief, no number. So I don't know where y'all got that $9 million from, but it wasn't from what was submitted to the court. I'm just letting you know. I'm not trying to be rude, but like, I try not to I report on what is given to the court. And what was given to the court has no numbers. So, like, this is against Dan Owens and Levy. Dan Owens alone. From Tug showing the one that JH showed. I literally looked up Jeremy Hale's on my Pacer. This is the only thing that's been filed. So I don't know what y'all have been, what y'all saw, but I will look up Jeremy Hale's again. But this is the only thing that's been actually submitted to the court. Scroll through. I did. I read this. Like, I love you guys, but like, I'm telling you, this lawsuit has no number on it for damages. Claims for relief. We read this. Due process. Where this is what their request. Plaintiffs respectfully request the court enter judgment against the defendant and grant following relief. Declaration that defendant's failure to give full faith and credit to plaintiff's out-of-state protection violated 18 U.S. Code 2265. Compensatory damages in an amount to be determined at trial. Punitive damages in an amount to be determined at trial. Reasonable attorney's fees. There is no number in here. This is all 8 pages. There's 8 of 8. There's 8. I don't know what y'all want from me, but that's all 8 of 8. Like, so if someone knows where the missing number is, BBB Larry is $9 million, not JH versus Owens. So the one we read yesterday. Because I just, so the paper they showed was not this type page. Well, this is the $9 million. Okay, thank you, Undertaker. The $9 million was what Jeremy said he's lost in future revenue. Okay. 9 mil was for the conspiracy for Fed 2. This is what I'm calling Fed 3. Because this is, yeah, but this is what we just read. So the case against Daniel Owen has no number. The case against, and I have, like, this is all I searched for. I searched for Hale's. I have every Hale's case and Lynette's bankruptcy case all saved in my Pacer. So I'm like, y'all are confused, and y'all are confusing me because I'm like, wait, I've read everything. like I've read everything. There is no number. Did you miss anything important? Not really. I did that yesterday. We did BBB versus Larry yesterday, but hold on. I will open up BBB versus Larry. I got to move it to a different folder anyway. Because right now it's still in my download file. I did add a BBB versus Larry case and a Fed 3 folder on the Discord for documents. However, documents aren't really, if no one sends them to me, I'm probably not going to be able to get them because Kentucky's courts this is what I see when I look up let's see, CourtNet. I can't get documents from this case. I went to Kentucky eCourts and it shows me the case, but it won't there's nothing to click on. So I'm going to have to keep searching. I got lucky with the documents that I have yesterday. So there's that license search. So Malin, I love you. You're funny. Can you made Fed 3 again? I think I missed the 9 mil. Yeah, people were making me crazy.
Yeah, 8 hours later.
Heather, I read that one yesterday. For all of you that were not here yesterday, I read Bubbles versus Larry yesterday. I read the cease and desist letter because somebody was nice and decided to send it to me. This is yesterday's. BBB strikes again. Same state or new state, same bull. Hold on. Oh, what do you? Oh. There you go. Yes.
I think to be honest with you, Deuce Foreskin's going to end up as what we would say here in the UK on the chopping block when it comes to legal.
So
to be honest with you, and this Daniel Rex Owen, I mean, the guy. What is wrong? It's like that everyone is trying to get money out of Jeremy. What are they I mean,
but apparently the people who work for him can't even get money out of him. Just kidding.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, because I haven't got the memo. I don't know about you.
I've been accused of working for him for
same here.
So long, and I'm like,
And I also am supposed to be getting per diems as well. So daily, I should be getting. I would end up paying him.
It's picture in picture in picture. That's yesterday's stream.
Oh my God! Look at my hair. You could have redacted my hair for crying out loud, man. Come on.
Sorry, picture in picture. This is yesterday's where we read it. So if y'all, I put the link in the chat for this stream, but this is where we talked about Bubbles versus Larry. Because any opportunity that I get to make fun of Bubbles, fucking taking it. Excuse my language, but like any opportunity that I get to make fun of Bubbles, taking it. That's where the 9 mil is.
No, it should be mandatory that everyone, when you wake up in the morning, the first 20 minutes is all you just crack jokes about that absolute pleb.
Well, yeah, but I mean, honestly though, like,
I mean, do you know what? If God bless his cotton socks was standing right next to me right now, I would be chewing his ass off again. How could you create something so stupid and with such a fucking nose that you could use them as a ship keel?
so I we're laughing at him. See, and I generally don't I generally don't Timothy, I got my first check from Jeremy today. It was negative $531.96. I'm paying.
Yeah. Oh, by the
Oh
way,
my
let me
God.
ask you a question. I'm going to ask you a civil. It's going to be a civil question. I'm going to try and be as polite. Why? Like, I know that why do men go to foreign countries to find their future partners? Why can't they go out and find their future partners in their own towns? Or
If you were a woman, would you want to date him?
I would probably have a certain change and have a deeper voice, But no,
You didn't
absolutely.
put in your voice changer today?
No, I did not. Autobots
But
roll out.
the fact that someone accused you of using a voice changer just fucking makes me laugh because I'm like,
Hang
yeah.
on a minute. Let me hang on a minute.
And
Like,
I'm looking through the
yeah, you look through that. Let me get Schmitty. Schmitty, come over here. What do you want? Come here. What? Come here. What?
Mrs. Spawn.
No, she's not home yet.
Yes, my precious, we want it.
I am sharing the last page of the complaint. There's no 9 mil in here either.
Nope. I think the 9 mil that you got was from another court case. I know there was a mention of 9 mil, but that was
Maybe it was the cease and desist letter.
I haven't seen 9 mil. Yeah.
Okay, the civil cover sheet. I didn't look at the civil cover sheet because the civil cover sheets the civil cover sheet at the end of the day doesn't really mean much. It's more of a
yeah.
it's
I'm
more of
sorry.
It's
I've got to do sorry,
keeps
God.
things all together.
Yeah, I've got to do this. Hey Bruce, if you're listening, do you remember this one song?
Once I was a small boy. I went to my mommy and said, "Oh my God, I've done another poo." Mommy turned around and said I should go to my room and stop fidgeting so.
And Rickles, thanks for the 5 Squid Pro Quo memberships. I appreciate you. Unfortunately, Bruce Matskin got one yesterday. So he won't be getting one today. But if you guys do watch yesterday's stream, pay attention to about the one-ish hour mark. There is a gifted membership. There's 15 gifted memberships, 10 and 5. And one of the 10 gifted memberships is our Brucey boy.
Yeah. And have a guess what's coming now? You ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a public service announcement. Please be aware there is a long-nosed, keel-nose-faced person running around named Bruce Matskin. Please do not approach unless you have a fishing net with you. This was a public announcement. Thank you.
And any opportunity I get to make fun of Bubbles, we've taken it because, well, it's Bubbles. So, but I did, if y'all do want to see
I got behave.
my thoughts on the lawsuit that Bubbles filed against Larry, I talked about it yesterday. That was yesterday's stream. That's why this one got pushed back till today, because somebody was nice enough to give me that lawsuit, even though it's very hard to find online on Kentucky's website. Kentucky's weird with documents. So, yeah. So I have a screenshot of BB's gifted membership. It's on my background.
I think, do you know what people should do? I think
Timothy, like 4 people sent me that screenshot yesterday, and I took one for myself. And Papa Squid in the chat, Dad's in the house. And
Yeah, I was just about to
Dad
say
is
good evening, sir.
retiring in
Good
2
evening, Papa
weeks.
Squid. How you
So
doing? How's hanging?
be nice to Papa Squid.
No.
Because if you annoy him, he will time you out. And
Okay.
secondly, convince him to be my editor when he retires in 2
Okay.
weeks.
Well, Squid,
Yeah.
hold fire for 1 second. Hey, Papa Squid, it's me, Spawn. You know, the nice guy. When you retire, yeah, why don't you become your daughter's editor? You know what I mean? It's fun. You can put little tricks in there. You can she won't know about it. You know what I mean?
Freckle, the only plain devil's advocate, what if Owen wanted that info to order to disprove LP's accusation against JH? The only reason that I would just shoot that one down right away is in the email he says he wants to see if Jeremy committed perjury.
The thing is that, I mean, how can he commit perjury? Because if he did, Ohio court would have slapped him.
No, Heather, you weren't the only person that heard 9 mil. I just don't know where the 9 mil came from.
That's in total, isn't it?
And it might actually be all of them combined. I don't have any idea. But the actual lawsuit, the cover page, I don't download the cover page anymore because one, the cover page is just literally a cover page. Generally, it's not really doesn't have any information that shouldn't be. Generally, on a cover page, you should not put any information on a cover page. It's like the cover page of a fax. It's like a fax cover page. It has the information of who's involved in the lawsuit and what it's generally about.
Yeah.
But Pacer costs me money.
Yeah.
So that cover page, I don't make Megan and Tug super chat money. Like, I don't make Megan and Tug view ad revenue money. I don't. So I'm balling on a budget here. So if I can cut 30 cents out of my budget on every lawsuit that I look at and not look at the cover page, 30 cents might not sound like a lot, but 30 cents over many lawsuits that I'm looking at here and there and that like Pacer adds up. My last Pacer bill was like $189 or some, or 150. The one before that was 189. The last one was like 140. So I don't make Megan and Tug super chat money. I'm balling on a budget with like just over 4,000 subscribers. So I kind of have to cut corners a little bit.
Can I just interject very quickly on a couple of points? Point one, no, these are turtles, Papa Squid, just so you know. This was done for me.
Well, it's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
No, they are. Okay, I'll shut up and I'll move on to the next one. Shut up, both of you. Anyway.
Now you know where I get it from.
Freckled, you are correct. It is total of 9 million. This is why there's a lot of confusion going on. And the perjury accusations did not come just from Lynette. Well, they didn't come from Lynette for first. They came from the What the Hell's ecosystem, and then Lynette copied and started using it herself. And all in all, right, hadn't it been for certain people having their knickers in a twist and trying to character assassinate Jeremy Hales, right, and they came across Lynette and John, that they jumped on that, used both of them to do exactly what they've been doing for the last year and a half. So it's common sense. It's 2 + 2 = 4. So you just have to follow the breadcrumbs. And unfortunately, they have unlisted a lot of videos, not just them, on both sides of the aisle. But unfortunately for them, people like myself are very quick to find derogatory comments and stuff like that, and accidentally on purpose record it as original, dated, like a newspaper. When someone takes a picture of you with newspapers, making sure that it's a sign of life, like, you know, type of thing. Why do I know that shit? Anyway, yes. But in regards of this new case, this Owens fella, I think Deuce Boy is going to fall flat on his face. Larry's going to take him to the cleaners. Larry's going to take him to a laundrette and richly teach him new ways to stay clean.
And tomorrow we will be going over the videos in question in Larry's lawsuit. I call it Larry's lawsuit because I don't even want to say BBB or Bubbles, or I don't want to give that mofo any attention, and we all know who's going to win. So we're going to be going through. I was also sent the links to the videos in question, and we're kind of going to be going through what was said in the lawsuit and the accusations in the lawsuit versus what was actually said. And fact check, because that's what we do here, because I believe the quotes were taken out of context. We're not given full, you know how things can be taken multiple ways.
Yeah.
And
And also, can you do me a favor when it comes to
Teresa? I went back and I redacted it. I took it off the screen, redacted it, and when I edit the video, I'm going to be going through and,
Can you do me a favor? I've got 2 new words for you for him. Knob jockey. Right. Yeah. And
I just prefer to call it Larry's case because that's at the end of the day, that's the only person who matters in this situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's be honest. He's the only one who matters.
Are we doing final thoughts again, or?
Yeah, we're gonna try final thoughts. Here we are, 20 minutes after that.
Sure this time?
PBB is grasping at bubbles.
Does
BBB even watch Larry on YouTube? Probably not. Like, I've watched Larry since Depp v. Heard. So pretty much I'm not a member of his channel, but pretty much every other content, all of his Karen Reed stuff.
I think there's going to be a conflict of interest issue on this court case. And I know for a fact that Larry's going to win it. There you go. There's my prediction.
And Lindy, thank you for the €11.99 to the planet's worst grifter.
Thank you. Hey, can I do something for you, Squid?
Maybe.
Lindy, merci beaucoup pour l'argent pour la mademoiselle Squid. Merci beaucoup. Bonne soirée.
I'm so bad at that. Yeah, people call me a grifter all the time and like give me a hard time. Oh, she's such a grifter. She mentions no. The only reason I've been grifting this month is because I turned 40 this year.
You're getting old.
I am not 40 yet. I have 48 hours.
So are you going to let me, dear? Are you going to let me? She said you're welcome. Are you going to let me sing to you? Happy birthday.
No.
God dang it. Don't.
I can't remember if today's your birthday or Thursday, but happy birthday. Thank you. It's Thursday. So there will be a members only, maybe on Thursday. Maybe Bubbles will show up on Thursday since he has
a that'd be so funny. That'd be so funny.
We're just going to be doing some like Reddit stuff on Thursday because we all need to deal with somebody else's drama for a little bit.
I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of people I'm glad I've met actually thinking about it tonight. With all this legal crap going on, the positiveness needs to stay.
Oh yeah, Liz, you brought up a good point. I forgot all about that mac and cheese crap. Yeah, he watched Larry because he was trying to get Larry to cover a mac and cheese story. BBB was denied. That's true.
That I mean, like that's put me off. Do you know what? I should sue Bruce Matskin for interfering with my cuisine interests.
I know, right?
Mental anguish, okay, and making me starve, especially when I've got the shit in the cupboard and in the kitchen right now.
That's why that's why I've put that case out of my mind, because I like macaroni and cheese, and whenever I've tried to think about macaroni and cheese, the only thing that comes up is taking a Bruce Matskin.
Yeah, but on a happy note, I have to say that I've really enjoyed tonight. I'm glad that we, you and I. It's a shame that my pretty's not here. It is a shame. And but don't forget, we'll get. Wait. If she's not, hey.
And Jackie Grammy, thank you. It's good to see if you have the civil cover sheet for the Hale v. Owens. That's where the 9 mil is listed. Yeah, and I went into that generally on the on most civil cover sheets. There's nothing on the cover sheet that is not in the lawsuit on most cover sheets. So because I'm balling on a budget and I have to pay for that document, that is one of the documents that I generally, in most cases, stopped paying for. Because on most cases that I've covered, like the DOT, the Brigida versus DOT, Billy Napier or Rashada V. Napier, the Florida Gators head coach is being sued by a college quarterback. But beside the point, there's never been anything on the cover sheet that is not listed in the document itself. This is the first time that I've seen that there's been a number on the cover sheet that's not been in the document, or at least like a rough estimate. But that's one of the things of it might only be 30 cents to some people or 20 cents, depending on how many pages it is. But that 20 cents over the course of many, many documents adds up. And I don't make that super chat money. I know, but I still have to pay for it. I have to pay for that document. That's the point. I have to pay for that document. And that's my point, is that's when I have never seen a cover sheet in all the cases that I've covered that didn't have anything on the civil cover sheet that wasn't listed in the document. So I stopped spending that 20 or 30 cents for that document because it might only be 20 or 30 cents to y'all. But when a Pacer bill comes in that's almost $200, that 20 or 30 cents over 10 cases starts to add up. So that's one of the cases that I don't, or one of the documents that I don't get, because generally there is nothing on, it's a cover sheet. Like it's like a cover sheet to the closest thing I can relate it to is the cover sheet to a fax. So it's one of those situations where I have to pay because it's on Pacer and it is a separate docket entry. I have to pay for it. And I don't like to spend money on things that don't make an impact on the channel. Because I have wasted money in the past and I'm trying to go from a $200 Pacer bill. I went to $150. Like we're trying to keep it manageable. Because that shit gets expensive fast. Even checking the docket costs money. Even checking the docket costs money. Like it's everything on Pacer costs money. And with that adding up, yes, I'm trying to play it smartly. Yes, thank you. Thank you, The Undertaker. Thank you. I'm trying to not waste my money because it's this is the you can see that this is the docket. The civil cover sheet is docket entry 4. I just had to pay 10 cents just to run this page. So if you can think of how many cases I cover versus how many documents I look at, and now that this has changed. There we go. It's 999,000, so it's $1 million. It's not 9 million. There we go. This wasn't there earlier this morning when I checked it the first time. That I saw. Demand wasn't there. So do y'all see that? It's 999,000. So it's not 9 million. It's 999,000 is the demand in this. So I approve of wise money management. I call it balling on a budget because, like I'm a stay-at-home mom. So like at the end of the day, like we have bills to pay on generally 1.5 income. 1.5. So we no, I appreciate it. And that's kind of where I'm like, I just like to let you guys know that like, but here you can see some of the decisions I make are not because I don't want to do something or I'm quote unquote lazy. Sometimes I gotta make financial decisions and some shit just gets expensive. So, but this Jeffrey, thanks for being a member for 6 months. You got my subscription fee. Doesn't that count? Yes, it does. Thank you. Yes. Pacer, 10 cents a page. It costs just to look. And that's the other reason why I started, like, if I don't, I'll look 3 times a week. I look Monday, I look Wednesdays, and I look Fridays. So that way I'm not looking multiple times a day or planning or looking every other, because shit gets expensive just for looking. I can spend $10 a week and not actually get any valuable information. So it's a thing. It's crazy. But the demand here is 999,000. I'm glad I ran this. So this was 10 cents where well spent. So it's not 9 mil, it's 999,000. So there's the y'all can quote that. I can, but at the end of the it's not a whole lot actually. I mean, in the grand scheme of things. So, but yeah, I do. So, at least I could last year. Who knows with the with what happened. What are you sorry for? What'd you do? And all right. This is and Jackie Grammy, my email has been put in the chat a while. I don't know what this comment from Heather is about, but my background is in occupational therapy. So if you have any questions and I do have a corrective exercise specialist certification that is active. So if you are cleared by your doctor to exercise and you want exercises for home, email me. I might be able to guide you in the general direction.
Yes, they do.
You do your own stuff. You dive. What do you need my help for?
Leave me alone.
So
why are you picking? No, hey, hang on a minute. You can't pick on me like that. I've been behaving tonight. I have been supporting you as your producer. So,
all right. On that note, though, it is 3:30. I have to get ready to go to work in about a half an hour. I have to get the little all ready to go.
Final thoughts again.
Final thoughts. This is just one more thing, and I do wonder why it took this long to come up with this lawsuit, because this is probably the most important. Yes, the defamation and the other stuff and the civil conspiracy and the interference with his business is important to him. I get it. However, this civil rights lawsuit, this is our constitutional rights. These are what make us the country we are. And if we allow people to get away with breaking these civil rights, something as simple as hey, I got a protection order, please enforce it, doesn't seem like that hard of a thing. But if they're willing to do it with someone who has the ability to sue them and get justice, who are they not doing it? Or who are they doing it that can't defend themselves? And if they are willing to do it to Jeremy, they are willing to do it to anybody. And this is what makes us a free country. And yeah, final thoughts. This whole mess is a clusterfuck. Yes. However, this is, in my opinion, Jeremy's most important lawsuit. The other ones are about what people think about us and other people. This one is about the government not protecting Jeremy's rights.
My turn? Oh, sorry.
And just get it. Can you view without downloading? Yeah, but you have to pay to view it. So you might as well download it. You cannot view it without paying. There's the kicker. Final thoughts.
Mine or yours?
Yours. I did.
Oh,
mine.
Right. Okay. 2 points. I've been watching this from quite early on. You know, when the meeting the meeting and everything else. People say, you know, with the money involved in the lawsuits, it's not just about the money; it's about the facts and the truth. And I've always been a stickler for that. And it didn't help with people's personal agenda and using the two individuals who've caused most of these problems, that's Lynette and Preston, using them as a stepping stone to grift and also try to get their name in neon lights. And basically, look what it's turned into. The two frivolous lawsuits, you know, I mean, obviously we saw a pattern of like, you know, voluntary dismissals and everything else. However, these lawsuits, Fed 1 and Fed 2, are quite important. Now, this one coming out, what just came out against Owens, I think they held back on that because of everything else that was going on. Now that things have slowly moving forward and cases are being closed down, I think it was a perfect timing for that to come out. Deuce Boy trying to take Larry Foreman to court is going to fail abysmally. He's failed ever since he came into the scene, and he's going to fail with this. And I see a lot of people either going to jail or paying a lot of money. They better have a big checkbook, because they, you know, like making accusations and writing documents with accusations in them, when technically all you need to do is to go back 1 year and watch all the research, and you'll see the proof, you'll see the evidence. So I still think that Deuce Boy is an absolute fucking waste of rations, and the best part of him ran down his mum's legs. I do think that the ecosystem needs to feel the full force of the law. And I hope that the judge in both Fed 1 and Fed 2 and in the next two court cases, I hope the judges see the bull BS and actually deal with these people correctly, properly. And I hope to see it live when Bruce Matskin is slapped with the sanctions. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you so much for you being here and supporting Squid, and, you know, allowing me to be here. Squid, thank you so much for having me yet again. I appreciate it.
You're always welcome. It's just, there's just a lot. There's
Too much sometimes.
There's just a lot.
Yeah.
And like whenever you feel like there's like it's calming down or things are starting to get to a point where things might move forward, there's just another, like, the federal cases were stayed, and it seemed like they were starting to move forward, and then all of a sudden Lips got involved and the emails there, the lawsuit there, and it's like now there's that, and then now it's this, and it's just there's just
Yeah, I totally forgot about that lady. Well, if you want to, I'm not going to say anything on here. I'll say it on my own platform, but that whole group of people were just out for two things.
and well, and Gary, the 9, and that's apparently they're not asking for 9 mil, they're asking for 999,000.
Yeah,
According to the here, I will download the civil cover sheet. I will pay for it. I will, because just to answer.
I thought we did final thoughts. Make sure you know.
I keep talking.
Yeah, guys, listen. It's the 9 million is the
it is 9 mil, but on the thing it says 900,000. So somebody somewhere is not, some shit is shady.
Okay, then we got it. Well, there you go. But yeah, I'll tell you one thing. Do you know what? The best way to solve this, right, is to get joystick nose freaking Deuce Boy into a ring.
Okay,
right?
I understand where the 9 mil is. Thank you. The next person that mentions it is getting timed out.
Yeah, and then
because I'm trying to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and then put Larry in the ring, and then do that with everyone else. Maybe that will knock some sense into the what the hell's ecosystem. Oh my god!
Nobody in this case has sense anymore.
Common sense.
Common sense left the building like 9 months ago.
Yeah. Welcome to Florida. Not, I mean, sorry. Welcome to Otter Creek. Please leave your common sense at the state border. Thank you. Anyway, I'm calling it a night because I can't carry on doing this. It's too much.
Yeah, I'm done.
I've been tired all day, and I am.
Yeah, you stayed longer than I thought you were going to.
Well, I'm not going to leave you on your own, am I? I am a gentleman, madam. How dare you? How dare you, ma'am?
All right, I have to go to work.
Good. Sorry, I mean, okay. I didn't mean good.
Someone owes me a 10-cent super chat because I didn't want to download that, but there.
Yeah, you know what? The crowds, your community is really nice. I think I'm going to move into your community.
Yeah. Anyway, on that note, can you lead us out of here? Because
yes, ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves. Hold on tight. Buckle up. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.